Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I am Kelly Stewart, joined today by Dave Koken. Dave, you have a 5% play on a Big Ten game this weekend, but you have a lean on this Wisconsin-Iowa game. Absolute abomination of a football game. Wisconsin loses as a 3-touchdown favorite at home to BYU. What went wrong in that game?
You know, and look, I'm not there, so obviously I can't say, but it really had all the earmarks, and especially when Wisconsin rolled down the field and got a 7-0 lead. This had all the earmarks of one of those games where we know we got this one. You know, they're big favorites. They probably saw BYU play California and get its butt kicked all over the field. I mean, California dominated that game. And I think Wisconsin probably, at that point, started looking ahead. We've got this one, no problems. BYU suckered them on a trick play. In the second half, the Cougars were really fired up. Got to give it to Satake. He called a good game. He's not one of my favorite coaches, but nice job by BYU last week. And now Wisconsin's put themselves in a bad situation where they've got pressure on them in every game the rest of the season if they want to have even an outside chance to get to the playoffs. Obviously, it wasn't a Big Ten conference loss, so it didn't impact them in that fashion. But as far as getting one of those 4 spots, and that's their goal going into the season, they're in real trouble now.
This is an interesting Iowa team, which I can't even begin to watch because they are so boring offensively. But let's talk about how great that defense is. So you have a really good run offense in Wisconsin playing a really good run defense in Iowa. Your thoughts on this matchup?
This might not be a real exciting game because I think you've got 2 coaching staffs that kind of take these 3 yards in a cloud of dust and let's just do ball control and kind of trying to move the chains and, you know, just get it done that way. And I do think that's going to contribute to what might be a pretty good play in this game, and that's the under. Look, if neither team wants to put this game in the hands of the quarterbacks. It's not that they're bad quarterbacks. Horny's not terrible. He had a couple mistakes last week. Stanley is okay for Iowa, but he's, you know, let's face it, he's not going to be at the Downtown Athletic Club for the Heisman Awards unless he buys a ticket. These are 2 teams that are going to try and establish the line of scrimmage, and I do think it's going to be a running game. Whoever opens it up might end up winning the game, but I don't think that'll happen until the second half of the football game. So to me, you got a total in the 40s here, and it's tough to play under those totals, with the game being as wide open as it is now in college football. But it's kind of like the LSU-Auburn game that I talked about on our podcast last week and thought, you know, this is going to be an under unless there's defensive scores. I think the same thing in the Wisconsin-Iowa game. Unless you've got turnovers for touchdowns or special team scores, and you can't really handicap that, I think this will be one of those 17-14 types of games. Old-fashioned, old-school Big Ten bore fest. But it's a really big game for the 2 teams.
Awesome. As I mentioned to start the video, Dave has a 5% play this week, but you can also get 7 days of Dave Koken's personal selections for less than $10 a day when using coupon code KOKEN7 on a 7-day all-access pass, knocking the price down from $99 to $69.